Your boy Tevin Jamier back again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. Today, I got my boy Deezy Martians in the building.
What up, man?
I told y'all, if y'all a big rap fan, y'all already know we about to get into a lot of rap topics because, you know, this is the first time me and you really talk like that, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
even though we went to school together, this is the first time like we actually like bumped heads in politicking.
Mm-hmm. So, I ain't talked to him like that, but I still kept up with his music. I fuck with his beats, especially his beats. So we're gonna get all into that. We're gonna get into like his music, his thoughts on music, and y'all already know what we about to get into. So, is there anything else you want to say before we start?
I mean, Deezy Martians, producer, rapper, straight from New Jersey. Yeah. Happy to be here. Hate It or Love It podcast.
Alright. So, the first thing I wanted to ask you is, what made you get into music?
Well, being born in 2000 and, hip-hop started to change a bit. You know what I mean? You had Nelly, Bow Wow, Ludacris, 50 Cent, just to name a few, who started bubbling up in the 2000s. So by the time I was 2 years old, I already know what I wanted to do. But I wanted to play basketball also because, Bow Wow and like Mike was like, damn, this nigga was playing basketball and rapping. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So by the time I was 9 years old, when I moved, that's when I started writing. You know what I mean? And by the time I was 13, that's when I started making beats. And I was 14, I started putting out music.
So what was like a lot of your early music like? Like what topics do you usually talk about?
Wow. We talking 2014 and like 2016. Well, just a lot of stuff like I was bullied when I was mad young, and I take that anger and frustration and put it in the music. And I still do to this day, here and there. But yeah.
Okay. When you said the, bullied and putting in the frustration, one thing is, me following you on Instagram, I see X is like a big inspiration of yours. Like,
Really?
You can speak on X if you want to, but what other inspirations, like as far as music, did you have?
As far as music, like outside of music?
Just like any inspirations you have, like, maybe somebody inspired your style, like inspired like how you go about your music, like who are you inspired by?
Not only XXX, the late great XXXTentacion, he inspired me. Tyler the Creator.
Okay.
MF Doom. Can't forget about Kanye West.
Oh yeah, we gonna get into Kanye.
Most definitely. Now that I mentioned Tyler the Creator, the whole Odd Future, like Earl, Frank Ocean, all them cats. 50's an inspiration kind of. When I was like 2 years old, when I heard Winkster, that was like basically my introduction to gangster rap. Like, yo, this nigga 50 Cent, he rapping about guns and he got pictures of them guns. Like, this is like brand new to me at a very young age. But who else?
Shoot, one of my favorites growing up was T.I. How you feel about T.I.?
T.I. too. I really fucked with T.I. when I was little. Rubber Band Man. 24s, whatever you like, all them songs.
Shit, yeah. Dang, there was something else I was about to ask you, but I forgot. All right, so that's all you really have to say about the inspirations?
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of,
Matter of fact, I gotta say, West Side Gun, Griselda, Mock Homie, The God Fahim. Shout out to the whole underground. You feel me?
Shit, I gotta get more into the underground scene. Like,
yeah.
What is that like right now?
It's it's very rare because nowadays it's all about the mainstream aspect. You feel me? And with the underground, you can just be like an independent artist, like taking it back to the boom bap shit. If you know what I mean? And I like where the underground is at.
One of my other friends that's like in the rap, he was talking about like the underground scene, and he was saying like he noticed that more of like it seems like the underground is starting to influence mainstream hip hop now,
Right.
especially like Playboy Cardi and stuff like that. Like, do you think that's true?
Well, remember, Playboy Cardi was an underground rapper before he was signed to AUG Interscope. So I remember Playboy Cardi in like 2016 with the song Broke Boy. This is when he was with a little like indie label in Atlanta called Awful Records. So I remember Playboy Cardi from that time, but I guess.
I literally don't know shit about Playboy Cardi. That's why I'm
For real?
asking. No, I really don't know, bro. Because, like, all I know is one day with that song Magnolia, he just popped off with Magnolia. He popped off with Magnolia. Then I heard his Die Lit album. I like that, but it's like, I don't know nothing about Playboy Cardi. So, like, when my friend said that, like, how he's somewhat, like, made that sound mainstream, and now we're starting to see more people like use like crazy distortion and 808s in the mainstream. I'm just like, hey, fuck it, I guess I'm about to check that out. But you know, and you can answer this whether talking about mainstream or underground. How do you feel about the current state of rap right now?
Now this is something that like I'm trying to like, you know, be careful with, you know what I mean?
No, we on the Hate It or Love It podcast. Say whatever the fuck you want.
All right, so like I'm gonna say that like the current state of rap, like I'm kind of like bipolar with this shit. Like there's some days I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking with this current state of rap, but most days I'm like, yo, this shit is like ass, man. Like it's all about like your like, you know, how you like carry yourself, what your lyricism is, like what you dress like, what you like, what you like, your social media is like. Nowadays, it's like niggas is on the internet toting guns and counting money. Like, if you, like, to me, if you're an artist that's on the internet flashing money, you're an easy target. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I can't be the type of artist that like flash money on the internet talking about, yeah, I got something that you don't got. Just straight boasting about it. I don't like when people be cocky as hell. But to answer your question, the current state of rap is good and it's bad. You know what I mean? Like conscious rap is not even, you know, on and popping like how it was in the 90s and the 2000s, like your Common, your Kanye West, your Brand Nubians,
See, that's something I've been talking about with a lot of people recently. Like, I know I'm about to get a lot of flack when I say this shit, but I feel like the current state of rap, to me, is not really in a good place because everybody always talks about the female side of rap, how that's ass, and I mean, trust me, a lot of this shit is stupid to me.
It is
But
stupid.
I feel like the male side, we also need to have a discussion about that. Because just like how you brought up conscious rap, it's almost like it's corny to be a conscious rapper nowadays.
Like, I be telling my cousin this shit. Like, nowadays, it's not cool to be intellectual. It's not cool to be intelligent. It's cool to be a gangster. It's cool to be a bad bitch. But it's not cool to be you know, intelligent. It's not cool to like be smart. Know about your history. It's cool to like know about like, you know, how many packs you move, how many females you seduce, how many niggas you seduce. Pause.
No, but I feel that though because, and it's funny. Like I was just talking to my my aunt just about this because you know she tells me about like all the old school rappers that she listens to, and my thing is. I feel like there's a place for everybody. Cause like me, I'm not gonna act better than a lot of people. I like listening to like Lil Durk, NBA Youngboy, King Von, but I also like my Kendrick Lamar's, J. Cole, and Childish Gambino at the same time. So it's just like, why is it corny to be like, you know, trying to put out positive vibes?
Exactly.
Because all that negative vibes, like if you listen to that all the time, you're not really doing anything good for yourself.
Exactly. Man.
So how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like there's not a good balance, at least in the mainstream of like negative and positive rappers?
Yeah, I do, man. It's like, why can't we just all like stop like talking about killing each other? Like, let's stop talking about oh, I put this nigga in the pack. I'm smoking that da pack. Like, come on now, we really gotta stop that shit, man. It's all about, you know, being there for one another, like caring about each other, man. You know, sometimes like I would fuck with like the drill shit because you know, drill like by far is the most hottest subgenre of hip hop right now. It's catchy. I like drill because of the beat, not the lyrics, because you know what they do in drill is like basically like mostly Bronx drill. They'll take like a old school song, like an old school R&B song, you know, flip that shit and turn it into a whole drill song. That's what I like about it. But yeah, I don't really like the new current state of rap. Even though like I try to like pick up on it, just crazy to me, man. Like you got, all right. So I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm just gonna say this. I love black women. You know, protect our black women, care for our black women, love our black women. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like female raps, it's like, come on now, like you can't be talking about popping your pussy and I'll take your man and shit. Like that's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you think about it, growing up when we were younger, we had Trina, we had Lil Kim, we had Foxy Brown, but they were lyrical. Like even though they was talking about the freaky shit, they were lyrical. But these artists nowadays, like your Cardi B's, your Megan Thee Stallions, your Sukianas, they not lyrical.
My other thing with like the old school female rappers compared to the newer ones, we got to know them more as people back in the day. Like now, I listen to a Megan Thee Stallion album, and I turn that shit off halfway through because I can only hear just like so many songs about only popping your pussy. Like I want to know what other struggles have you been through in your life. Like I don't know. I heard that her mom died of like cancer or something like that. Like how were you feeling about that? Like what were you going through other than that in your life? And I mean, hey, I'm a guy. I like hearing that shit sometimes. Right. But it's also like I want to know you as a person because that's what I listen to hip hop for. I want to know people. Like what their struggles was, what they've been through,
what your upbringing was like,
and I know a lot of females about to hate me when I say this, but like with female rappers, they make a lot of girls sound stupid as hell. Because my thing is, back in the day, guys, like a lot of male rappers was objectifying women. Right. Nowadays, y'all just objectifying yourselves. But if you look at a lot of the female rappers in their personal lives. They got husbands, they got boyfriends that they loyal to, so they just making their consumers look. They're making their consumers look stupid because it's like y'all looking up to these women when maybe they lived that lifestyle back then, but they ain't living it now.
Yeah, because I feel like these female rappers they be influencing like these women. Like I've seen women like on these stories. I ain't gonna say no names because I ain't no fucking snitch. But they be like, you know, if you ain't got no car, if you a broke boy, I don't slide in my DMs. That's from the influence from the female rappers.
Wow, these same bitches also have rats in their crib, but yeah.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
You know that's how it be. They always be like, you gotta have a car, you gotta have this. Bitch, you can't even afford shoes. Like $10 shoes. Like you can't even afford that shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, these rappers be influencing these people when it's like, to be honest, you shouldn't even really be looking up to anybody. You should really try to be your own type person. But it's just like, y'all looking up to the wrong people in the first place. Because, like, honestly, I'm going to keep it real. I fuck with Cardi B, but would I ever see her as, like, some type of influence? Not really. No. So, yeah. You have any other thoughts on like the current state of rap?
I rest my case.
Shoot. So the next thing I wanted to ask you. Yeah. Do you have an unpopular opinion about rap?
Unpopular rap opinion. Damn, now that's a tough one. Cause I got so many unpopular.
Shoot, we can run through them. Go ahead.
Shit, you want to start?
Well, I already made like a whole video talking about my rap opinions.
But Kanye's not crazy. But we're gonna get into Kanye.
Oh yeah, we gotta save that.
Yeah, we gotta say that. But damn. That's a hard one. We gonna get back to that.
Okay, you want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right, so what are some albums that you consider like rap classic albums?
Now, I'm like a music addict. Like music is like my number one drug, bro. So you gotta give me like how many albums should I name, bro?
Name however many you want, or give me like a solid like 5 to 6 albums.
Okay.
But also you can go into detail like why you love them so much.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with "Get Rich or Die Trying" by 50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like a very like influential album. Like anybody who's a hip hop lover, you can't say that "Get Rich or Die Trying" is one of your all time favorite albums. That's factuals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else? 2001 by Dr. Dre.
Definitely.
Shout out to the West Coast legend. What else? Goblin by Tyler the Creator.
Man, I ain't, as much of a Tyler fan I ain't even listened to that one yet.
What? That was like his first album he came out with.
I ain't really get into Tyler like that until like Cherry Bomb, really.
For real?
Yeah, no.
So you missed Goblin, you missed Wolf, so you went to Cherry Bomb.
That's when I really started getting into him until like Cherry Bomb. And then I don't know if it's because like that's when I first started getting into him, but I feel like Cherry Bomb is like an underrated album in my opinion.
Yeah, it is an underrated album, even though like I've talked to people and it was like, man, Cherry Bomb wasn't like his best album until Igor came out. I was like, nah, but it won a Grammy for it. But yeah, Cherry Bomb is the shit. What else? We had 3, right? So we got 2 more. Damn, this is hard. I'm gonna say like an underground album. Mad Villainy by Mad Villain. MF Doom and Mad Lib. Rest in peace, Doom. And we have 5. Say Because of Internet by Childish Gambino.
Ooh, now that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of people. No, because one thing that pisses me off
Shit
is
got
like
me through middle school and high school.
people do not talk about Childish Gambino's early albums that much. Like they don't give him enough credit because I fucked with Camp heavy.
Yeah.
And then because the internet, and I just love how, and Childish Gambino, he's like someone that I'm inspired by because I'm also into like film and stuff like that, and I love how like he used to blend his stuff together. Mm-hmm. Like, did you see how because the internet had like its own
screenplay?
Yeah, so
I like that shit.
I like that he blended all his stuff together, like rap, music, and or rap and film, and like shit. Even nowadays, like I feel like what he got going on with Atlanta, and then I want him to drop another album. But what was his last album called again? Like
it was
like 315 or something.
315-20 or something.
Yeah.
And each album title was like basically like it was like basically how like time format type shit. It was like the track listing was basically like time format.
Yeah.
Timestamps.
So yeah, I feel like Childish Gambino is like really underrated, but I'm surprised you ain't named a couple of like classic or albums that other people consider.
Matter of fact,
classic.
The Blueprint by Jay-Z, Illmatic, Nas, Stillmatic, Nas, Machiavelli, The Don Illuminati, The 7 Day Theory, Supreme Blientele by Westside Gunn, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang. What else?
There's 3 that I'm surprised that you haven't said so far.
What's that?
Ready to Die by Biggie.
How can I forget that?
All Eyes on Me.
Oh, cause I said a Tupac album, Don Illuminati. It was either that one or All Eyes on Me or Tupacalypse Now.
Okay. And College Dropout.
Oh, Damn, how could I forget about that?
Shoot.
All right, so College Dropout, yeah. I say like all the Kanye albums are like very inspirational. Even though people say like, oh, I miss the old Kanye, like it doesn't matter to me. Like Kanye still gonna make classic music, no matter what time period it is, no matter like what he's going through in life, he's still gonna make a good record.
No,
I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I'm not like, you know what I mean, being like you know, like a fanboy type shit, being like, you know how like people like be like celebrity worship, like, oh, leave him alone. I'm not doing this. I'm just saying, like, speaking like facts. Like Kanye is gonna drop like a good album like every time.
So knowing that you're a big Kanye fan, how would you rank his albums though?
Then I gotta go by from album to album. All right, so
You don't have to say collab albums, but like solo albums.
all right, so College Dropout, I'll give that 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Late Registration, same. Graduation, I'll say 10 out of 10. Only because, like, bro, Good Morning, I ain't gonna cat. Good Morning kind of get me in my bag because, like, how the chorus is Good Morning. Ooh, that's like really like a wake up type song
right there.
For real, like you wake up in the morning, you get ready to shit, get ready for work or whatever. But 808s and Heartbreak, it's underrated.
That
10
album,
out of 10.
That
like,
album changed the game.
It did change the game, and it got me through like so many like heartbreaks and shit, and it influenced me to come up with the Dark China album. I dropped in 2020. Where we at? My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. 7 out of 10. Yeezus, heavily experimental, because he had production with Daft Punk. You had Rick Rubin on the album. You had Travis on the album. Travis had additional production on that album. Where we at now? We had Yeezus.
What would you rank Yeezus out of 10?
Yeezus out of 10? I said 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had Pablo. Now Pablo, I fucked with it. Like, it took me a while to get the album because when Yeezy season 4 fashion show was out in Madison Square Garden,
Mm-hmm.
I looked for that. I hunt that motherfucking album down somewhere on the internet because you know, like it was like a rip. It was a rip version came from like the fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is something different. But I'll get like a 6 or 7 out of 10. What's next? I think Ye or Yee, however you pronounced it. Now I remember that run because he was up in Wyoming. He was doing the Nas album, the Tiana Taylor album, the Pusha T album, his album.
And he was beefing with Drake around that time.
Yeah, and he was working on the Kiss See Ghost album.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, this motherfucker was on a run. I don't know how I show him rate I didn't really like that album like that. It was something different. Now Jesus is King. I didn't like Jesus is King. Like I'm not trying to like, you know, bring down, Christianity and shit, but it's like it's Christian rap, it's experimental, it's like a little bit of trap elements, but I ain't really like it. Now Donda, that was something different because that was like, to me, that was like an experiment to get all those producers and artists. He had Jay Electronica on that album. And I fuck with Jay Electronica.
And then even the live shows were like crazy how he brought everybody together. Like,
yeah.
He was going through a divorce with Kim Kardashian and had her walking out in like Balenciaga wedding dresses and shit.
Getting caught on fire and shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Donda too?
As a matter of fact, yes I did.
I ain't feel like, getting the stem player or like finding rips. So how did you feel about it?
I found it on the internet. It was I fucks with Donda too, even though it's unfinished because I heard some tracks. Because, you know, like, if you hear, like, a Kanye unreleased track, he be mumbling and shit. Mm-hmm. Even though he was doing that, like, in some songs, it was a pretty good album.
Okay. So, what I gather is that Graduation is your favorite Kanye album.
Yeah, one of them.
Do you have a definitive favorite?
If I could, like, pick 3 Kanye albums, it'll be The College Dropout. Matter of fact, I'll pick 4. The College Dropout, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, and Yeezus.
Ooh, I don't know about Yeezus. You probably wouldn't like how I rank the albums.
Go ahead, man.
All right, so College Dropout, I already know, is like my favorite from him. So that's a 10 out of 10.
Right.
Late Registration, 9.5. Graduation, 9.5 again.
Okay.
808s and Heartbreak, probably like an 8. My Dark Twisted Fantasy came out after that, right?
Yeah.
Probably like an 8.5.
Okay.
Then Yeezus was next, right?
Yep.
I ain't fuck with Yeezus. Like, I'll give it credit. Like, I'll give it credit. It's a very influential album. You know, he was doing stuff different at the time. Mm-hmm. But the only song I fuck with from it was Bound 2. So
yeah, which was a single.
Yeah, true. So I can only give that album probably. I'll give it a little bit of points because it was so influential and like how it inspired a lot of artists. So I'll give it like maybe 4. 5 being nice, you know. Mostly for the inspiration. Mm-hmm. Then Pablo. Pablo is probably my second favorite Kanye album. So 9.5, but a lot of people always question me like why I put Pablo as second. And my thing is I feel like Pablo is like that perfect blend of every Kanye phase we had up to that point. You get songs that feel like College Dropout and Late Registration. You got songs that feel like 808. You got songs that feels like Yeezus. Like I feel like every Kanye era was compiled into that album.
Yo, the way you broke that shit down, it all makes sense. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
And then even songs like Ultralight Beam kind of showed you where he was going to go in the future with albums like Jesus is King and whatever.
Yeah, that was like the prelude to Jesus is King.
Yeah. Now, as much shit as I gave Yeezus, Ye is probably around that same area. I don't like Ye at all.
Yeah.
Like, even the songs that I did somewhat rock with, like, I still don't even go back to that. So, Ye probably get like a 2 or 3.
Only like the last song on that album.
I don't even remember the song.
I think it's called Violent Crimes or some shit. Don't you go up in a hurry. It'll be worth it. It was a part of the story. And then Nicki Minaj was at the end of the song. It was on a voicemail. It's crazy.
Then after that, that's what's the one after that? Yeah. Oh wait, no, not yet.
Jesus is King.
Yeah, Jesus is King. That one is alright to me.
Yeah.
I would probably give it like a 5 or 6. There's a few songs I go back to. Donda was like an 8, probably 8.5 for me. Like I fucked with Donda a lot. There's a lot of songs that I rock with, especially Jesus Lord. That's probably my favorite song on the album.
I don't know which one is better because there was a part 1 and a part 2. The part 2 got the locks on it.
Oh yeah, shoot. But I fucked with Jay Electronica's verse a lot. So
I fuck with Jay Electronica, period. Like, to me, that he's from New Orleans. New Orleans, you got your Cash Money, your No Limit, you got bounce music. He's basically like an alien in New Orleans because, like, he's very lyrical. I'm not trying to, like, shit on, New Orleans, but, like, nobody is not really, like, lyrical like that. Like, I feel like the most lyrical rappers from New Orleans to me is Wayne, Jay Electronica, and Currency.
Okay. I fuck with that list. I mean, I don't listen to Currency like that, but Wayne and Jay Electronica. Now, when you said that there wasn't as much lyrical people from New Orleans, I was like, all right, he better say Wayne. Like,
why wouldn't I say Wayne? That would be
there's a lot of people out here that don't give Wayne his credit just because, his newer music might not hit as much as his older music, but Wayne still be snapping.
Yeah, Wayne do be snapping.
I feel like
I never forget like listening to like mixtapes like The Dedication 2 or like even like the bootleg mixtape, that shit that wasn't like unauthorized by him, like shit from like the Empire shit. If people out there know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, the Empire shit. The Drought Is Over series. I remember my sister had The Drought Is Over Part 2. Had this song on there called One Night Only. It sampled Dreamgirls song. One night only, one night only. You gotta check it out later on. Bro. You want to fuck with it,
bruh. Wayne used to kill shit back in the day. Like even R&B songs. Like, yo, why one day I was going through Instagram, I saw this motherfucker recorded remix Sure Thing from Miguel, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? I listened to it and I was like, this shit kind of alright.
That had to be on a mixtape.
I think it was.
I swear that was on No Ceilings, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. It was around that period.
Either No Ceilings or Sorry for the Wait. It got to be one of those two.
It was Sorry for the Wait.
Yeah,
I remember Sorry for the Wait.
Yo, you remember when we were in high school and Sorry for the Wait 2 came out? That shit was like an event. I remember people in the hallway playing that shit.
No, I remember when What a Time to Be Alive dropped.
Oh my God. Well,
I tried to look for that shit on Dat Piff.
I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about What a Time to Be Alive? Because I have a lot of like discussions and debates about that album with some of my friends.
I mean, I ain't really like listen to it fully. Only listen to only songs that I do remember like hearing like for the first time when I heard What a Time to Be Alive is Plastic Bag. That's like the only song I like on that song. You have a plastic bag. Go ahead and pick a buck of cash. I'm like 15 years old, like my sophomore year of high school. Like, damn.
Because you were a sophomore, I was a junior.
Right.
I do remember that came out early junior year. That was crazy.
Oh yeah.
But the debates that I usually be having with my friends is like, they look back at that album like it's a classic album. In my opinion, it's not a classic to me. I just feel like that was just a special point in time for a lot of people. Because, like, if you look at Drake's because that came out the end of 2015, right?
I think, like, September, October.
Yeah. Like, Drake was on a run that year. He dropped If You're Reading This Is Too Late, which I think is his best project.
Oh, my. I remember when that shit came out my freshman year, Six God. I remember I was in the cafeteria. This nigga said, you was popping back when Usher wore You Chain. I'm like, whoa.
Yo, that whole mixtape was like fucking crazy. No. Even when he was dissing Tyga, that shit was crazy. Like, act your age and not your girl's age. Like, Drake was fucking ruthless on that album. I don't know what happened to him, but he was snapping in the studio when he made that. Then you got Future, who was on his like 3 mixtape run, and then it all came up to Dirty Sprite 2. So I feel like everybody was just like hype off of where their careers was at that time. And then because they came together, like everybody viewed it as like a good time. And I'm not saying the album was bad, but I just don't think it's a classic like people be saying.
Right.
But did you listen to Drake and 21's album?
Yeah, I really fuck with that album. I wasn't like expecting it to be like that good because like real shit, like I fuck with Drake, but I don't really like fuck with Drake like that. You know what I mean? But it's a really good album. Got some good cuts, good production. I heard Yachty got some production on there, which is pretty surprising. Like Lil Yachty producing now.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I'd rather him produce than rap. I don't fuck with him.
I mean, Yachty kind of stepped his game up a little bit.
Because the last time I heard the Yachty was like back in 2017 when he was still on that mumble rap, melodic shit. I don't mind mumble rap and melodic music, but I just didn't like his. So, if you had to recommend me like an album or a song from Yachty now, what would you recommend?
Cortex or G.I. Joe.
Okay,
you already know what I'm about to say, Joe. Killer Killer.
What's special about Killer Killer? He snap on that song?
Yo, so Killer Killer is a song by Lil Yachty and this artist from Richmond, Virginia named Black Cray. Mm-hmm. And Black Cray is like one of the I would say the architects of the SoundCloud rap era. It's the production is it's crazy. It remind me when some Manny Fresh bounce type shit produced by Filthy from Working on Dying. I know you heard of Working on Dying.
Shit, I don't even know.
Working on Dying is a collective from Philly that consists producers like Oogie Mane, Filthy, Brandon Finessin. They did some of Eternal Tape. Oogie Mane produced I'm Upset.
Okay.
Shit like that. But Killer Killer is definitely one of my favorite Lil Yachty songs. You gotta check it out. And everybody out there, check out Killer Killer, Lil Yachty and Black Cray. 2016 classic. That shit get me turned.
Shit, I gotta check that out. But actually, now that you brought up music from Philly,
yeah,
how do you feel about rappers like Core, PNB Rock, Lil Uzi? What's your take on the Philly rap scene?
First and foremost, I just want to say, rest in peace to PNB Rock. Mm-hmm. It was a very, very one hell of a sad day when I found out that he got killed.
Bro, that shit hit me hard.
Because we're from Jersey and Philly is right across the bridge. Because it's going affect Jersey motherfuckers.
And we watched him grow from
He went from being in prison, everybody blowing his real nigga bangers tape. When he got out, he got himself a deal with Atlantic. Drop shit like Fleet, Selfish.
When Going Through the Motions first came out, you couldn't walk through the hall of the TC without hearing somebody.
Oh my God, bro. But now, in the song, Just Wanna Come Back, that was bumping. Mm-hmm. Every girl was bumping that song.
Shit, even when I graduated, everybody used to say every day we lit, and that's just because of PNB Rock. Everybody used to say that shit. Mm-hmm. So when he died, that shit hit me crazy because it's it never really hit home, for other rappers. I was sad when X died, I was sad when Pop died, but PNB, that just hit different.
For real. But back to your question about Philly rap. There's some good Philly rappers. You got Core. Mm-hmm. Uzi. I fucked with Uzi, but his personality, him being from Philadelphia, it don't match, bro.
He doesn't come off like a Philly rapper. He almost feels like Atlanta
Philly rappers, they grimy. You know what I mean? Some of them they Muslims. Philly is a Muslim city. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And who else? A.R. Ebb, free A.R. Ebb. Meek. Shout out to Meek. We got bring it back to the legends. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Beanie Siegel, mm-hmm. Freeway, the whole state property, Eve, Left Eye. Y'all ain't know. Did you know Left Eye was born and raised in Philly?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, she's from Philly. Born and raised. She moved to Atlanta when she was 18.
Mm. That's how a lot of people don't even know that Tupac was from New York.
Exactly.
No, because I really never heard of her being from Philly until just now. That's news for me.
Yeah, people didn't really know that Tupac was from New York. Before he chose his actual government name as his stage name. His rap name was MC New York. Mm-hmm. So that kind of went over people's heads. They're oh shit, he was born in New York. I thought he was a West Coast nigga.
Wait, speaking of Tupac, mm-hmm. and we talking about rap,
yeah.
How the fuck did you feel about his biopic?
I fucked with it.
You did?
Yeah, I kind of fucked with it, but Notorious is better than All Eyes on Me.
They
could have did a lot better with All Eyes on Me, but it was alright. But the nigga who played Tupac, bro, that motherfucker was spot on. Even the look, bro, how the fuck did y'all find this nigga? there's a million.
That shit.
There's millions of people on the internet look just like Tupac, but y'all chose Demetrius Shipp Jr. He played one hell of a role. But I like Straight Outta Compton better than All Eyes.
That's my favorite biopic.
Yeah.
Like if I had to rank biopics, I'd probably say Straight Outta Compton, 8 Mile, and then Notorious.
Ooh, can't forget about 8 Mile. Straight Outta Compton. That was a very like an inspirational movie because I remember I went to go see that flick with my folks. I was 15 years old when that shit dropped. When I got out the AMC movie theater, I felt inspired. Like I gotta make a beat.
Same exact way.
I gotta drop some. I gotta record some shit.
I was like, fuck it. Let me hit the mic right
exactly.
now. I don't know what it is about that movie, but like every time I watch that shit, that shit just make me feel inspired. Like I gotta make something.
Word.
Even shit, you also know that I'm into film as well. So like shit, I need to shoot something. I need to record something. I need to do something. Like that movie was. That movie was amazing.
Every time you watch something you feel inspired by it, make you want to like go out and do it.
Mm-hmm. So now that we ran through all of that, I'm kind of stealing from DJ Academics off the record podcast, but I want to do it this or that.
All
right. So I want you to also tell me like why you picked this thing over the other thing.
All right.
So. Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac, because Tupac was a revolutionary. He was a what?
Y'all can't see it, but
Tupac over Biggie. Nah, because I fuck with Biggie. Biggie was an excellent lyricist, but Tupac, like he was for the people. Like, come on now, like his upbringing, like his peoples were in the Black Panther Party. You know what I mean? And he was really for the people. Like I watched some of his interviews and shit, and.
See, when I talk to people about Biggie or Tupac, I always say Biggie, but I like to be specific on like what I'm talking about. See, I'm asking you about music and stuff like that, but like when people ask me musically, I'm gonna say Biggie because I feel like he was a little bit of a better lyricist than Tupac. But if we're talking like as an overall artist, I gotta give it to Tupac because we've seen multiple sides of him, you know. Even down to his beat selections, like even if I'm listening to the instrumentals from All Eyes on Me, that album sounds beautiful. But Biggie, you know, he ain't really started opening up like that until right before he died. But I feel like giving it more time, we would have seen, you know, Biggie be out there more. Yeah. But yeah, I fuck with that.
I feel like if Biggie was alive, he would have been up there where like Jay-Z is at. Biggie would have definitely been like the King of New York, because you know that whole King of New York shit been passed around for like ages. Like who's really the King of New York?
I don't even listen to people when they say that shit. Like at 1.69 was out here saying he was the King of New York.
No, nigga, you the king of the snitches. That's what the fuck you are.
King of the informants.
That's even better.
Yo, but alright, I feel like I know the answer to this one, but I just figured I ask because these two get compared a lot in our generation.
Alright.
X or Juice Wrld?
Woo! This is gonna ruffle some feathers. You know what I mean? 'Cause Juice Wrld birthday just passed not too long ago. You know, happy belated birthday. But to me, X. You know what I mean? That's where I get like my inspiration from, because X was very like multi-genre. Like he can like make some boom bap shit, he can make some alternative rock shit, he can make some screamo rap shit, he can make some sad shit. He makes like basically like every song for like every emotion. Not only that, he was very like spiritual. He really meant a lot for his fans. Like he was there for his fans. Like, you know, most of these motherfucking these rappers, they're Hollywood. They're not for the fans, bro. They don't talk to their fans. Like if like for example, like if a fan comes to an artist and say like they on a verge that ended it all, X will help them out. Most motherfucking artists, they won't respond. They won't reach out.
See, I agree with you with the whole X and Juice Wrld thing. I mean, I'm about to piss some people off, but I don't really like Juice WRLD's music like that.
I like Juice WRLD's music a little bit, even though like it's more like emotional rap.
See, that's the thing. Like, I like Juice when he's like, you know, rapping like, like 1400 freestyle that he did with Trippie Redd. Like, I like when he does raps like that. Or what's that one song he has with NBA Youngboy? Bandit.
I know what you're talking about because sometimes my little brother would play that song on YouTube.
So, like, I like when he's, like, you know, rapping like that. But when he's, like, singing and crying about girls, I mean, no disrespect, R.I.P., but it's just, like, I can't listen to that. And I know sometimes X made music like that, too, but I like variety. Yeah. And just like what you said, X could make one style 1 second and then hop into another style, like, the next one. Like, I still remember when I first found out about him. And I was different from a lot of other people.
Right.
I found out because Academics posted a video of A$AP Rocky. And
when he was on live, he's like, what I feel about my nigga XXX? That nigga said, give my nigga my pen. Yeah, free that nigga X. Any niggas that don't like it, fuck you too. Some New York cocky shit like that.
When he said that X was his like favorite Florida artist. Now I want to move to Florida someday, so like I'm always trying to keep up with like Florida artists and movies and stuff like that. Yeah. So when he said that, I was like, all right, let me check this shit out. And the first song I actually heard, because I know a lot of people heard "Look at Me" first. Yeah. I actually heard "I'm Sipping Tea in Your Hood."
I knew you were about to say that.
And that was and that's to this day, that's still my favorite song from him.
Right. The first time I ever like got into X. This was April of 2016, and one of my followers, he's an artist. He's an artist and producer from like the New York, New Jersey area. Mm-hmm. He goes by 3D's Say. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. He used to go by Kitty Douchebag. He that's a very unique name, by the way.
That is very unique.
But he posted like this footage of this live performance of X. He was performing Look at Me, and the way he had the crowd, like it was like on some mosh pit shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is scary, but I like it. Mm-hmm. And I automatically got hooked with this nigga's shit. And I thought this nigga was like no racial or anything, because the dude was light skinned. I thought he was like Puerto Rican or some shit. Turns out he's Jamaican. Like his mom and his father, they're Jamaican. Mm-hmm. Yeah, rest in peace, X. But I'm gonna go with X.
Yeah, X. R.I.P. to that boy. Shit.
And R.I.P. Juice Wrld.
R.I.P. Juice Wrld.
Can't forget about Juice.
Next, Nas or Jay-Z?
What the fuck, Ted?
Yeah, hey, look, I know you a hip hop head, so I gotta give you the tough ones.
Wow. I can't say both. I gotta pick one, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to make motherfuckers mad, bro. Especially if the old heads is watching it. Moms and pops, aunts, uncles, big cousins. Damn. I fuck with Nas. I'm gonna fuck with Jay. I fuck with Jay, but I'm gonna say Nas.
So why Nas?
Because Nas whooped Jay's ass in Ether. What's dropped 21 years ago today on Jay's birthday.
Yeah, that was fucked up. That was one hell of a birthday gift. But shit.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But if I would pick Jay-Z. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like, to me, they're equally good. So it's
they are like on a lyrical side.
So it's just really like whoever you like at that point. It's not really nothing crazy for me. Kendrick or Cole?
One of those debates that motherfuckers had in middle school, high school.
I actually feel like I got a real unpopular opinion about them.
Now, I don't know, because if I pick Cole, I heard like people like I know people who like got upset when he said something about No Name.
Oh yeah, in that situation, he just shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, so like he shouldn't have said that, but I'm gonna go with Kendrick. Kendrick over Cole. Even though I fuck with J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive was an incredible album, but I'm gonna go with Kendrick. Because when Kendrick came out, I was thinking to myself, wow, this is like West Coast Nas. Because he was like very lyrical, like credible at storytelling.
And which album was it that made you think that?
Well, I listened to a little bit of Good Kid, Mad City, but what album that really like got to me, like I really like maybe say, wow, he's incredible, was To Pimp a Butterfly. That shit was very like experimental, like all the elements, jazz, funk. Come on now, he had George Clinton on that album. He had Flying Lotus, Thundercat. He had Bilal. You know who Bilal is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Bilal on there.
And Kendrick was like ahead of his time on that album.
For real.
That shit was great. And it took people out of left field. So
Like that song, You, it touched me. Like it really gets me in my feelings because like the way like the second part, like he delivered that, like he created like he was like drunk, but he really wasn't drunk. But you can like hear it in his voice, like he's pretending to be drunk. If this bottle can talk, I'll cry myself to sleep. I'm like, bro, made me want to like shed a tear. I'm 15 years old, listen to this shit on my way to school. I'm like, yo, it made me think about my life, what I've been through. I'm over here about to tear up right now.
But well, before I answer, how you feel about Mr. Morale? Because I know that was like a controversial album, like when it comes to Kendrick.
I think Mr. Morale wasn't really worth the wait, especially for 4 or 5 years.
Oh man,
since Damn dropped, it got some good cuts on there. In '95, we cried together.
I'm about to have a controversial opinion with that album, though. Because my thing is, now, I'm not saying it's wrong to think about it in the type of way, like, it took 4 or 5 years to make it.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like it satisfied me enough just because, and how can I put this? Because I literally just talked about this on the episode with one of my friends.
Yeah.
Like, I like how vulnerable, because I feel like, even with songs like You, that was a very vulnerable Kendrick, but I feel like the whole album was Kendrick being vulnerable. And he was touching on stuff that a lot of other rappers probably would never touch on.
Right.
I love how he did We Cry Together, where, the whole song is, the actual argument, and then it ends with, how long are we going to tap dance around the conversation? And then songs like Auntie Diaries or Father Time, where he talks about how his family affects him as a person. So it's maybe to other people, maybe 4 or 5 years this wasn't worth it, but for me, I feel like I got to finally peek into his psyche.
Right.
I was seeing parts of his mind that I feel like we didn't really get on other albums. Because, we're getting his experiences and we're getting his thoughts on it. But this time, we're, really going into, his mental, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, most definitely.
But as far as, Kendrick or Cole, now, I'm a follow the same thing that I made you follow. But I do want to say, personally, me, I kind of put both of them on the same level. Because people always debate with me oh, Kendrick is better, J. Cole is better. My thing is, I feel like lyrically, they're both on a equal footing.
Yeah, that's what I said, they equal.
But when it comes to their albums, I feel like why some people will say Kendrick is better as far as albums is because it's almost like having two older brothers. J. Cole is going to be that older brother that's going to straight up tell you what you need to do in a situation. While Kendrick is that older brother where he's not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. He's going to lead you to what's going to happen, but somewhat warn you about. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kendrick does, they both speak the same things. Kendrick will just go about it in a more elaborate way, while J. Cole is just going to straight up tell you what it is.
Yeah, Kendrick is is more raw and Cole is more laid back with it. That's how I see it.
So it's just like they both equally good, but they just go about things in different ways, which is why I can still appreciate both of them for who they are.
Yeah.
So the next one, Childish Gambino or Chance?
Bino. Bino, like, come on now, Childish Gambino or Donald Glover. Yeah, I put the government name out there. I want to get technical. But I said this to like a couple people, like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover is like today's Jamie Foxx, but Jamie Foxx don't rap though. Mm-hmm. Jamie Foxx and what Jamie Foxx and Donald Glover have in common, they're both producers, both singers, and they're both comedians. So that's how like I say like that's why I said that Childish Gambino is today's Jamie Foxx, but he's very like unique. Like all his albums are so like creative, and with Atlanta, it took me a while to get into Atlanta. I got into Atlanta in 2018. Wow, This Is America. That was a banger. Feels Like Summer. 3005. Childish Gambino.
Damn, you said that very easily. Like a lot of people would put thought into it because I mean this is another unpopular opinion. I feel like acid rap was overrated in my opinion. Like I like 10 Day and what was his third album, Coloring Book? I like 10 Day and Coloring Book better than.
I'm gonna be real. I did not listen to acid rap. I only listened to like one song off acid rap, and that was Nana with Action Bronson. Yeah. Because Shaheem, remember Shaheem? Mm-hmm. He put me onto that song my freshman year.
Okay. But shout out the boy Shaheem. I don't know if you watch or listen, but hey, shout you out.
Be safe, my nigga. Word. Listen.
I don't know if you're gonna have an answer for this, but I just figured I'd put this in. Yeah. Nicki or Cardi?
I got hit you with the Tony Yayo face. But
hey, if you had to pick one, who you picking?
Gotta go with my girl Nicki. I loved Nicki Minaj when I was 9, 10 years old. I love Nicki Minaj. I ain't gonna cap. When I first heard Nicki Minaj, this was 2008, and Beyonce had a remix to Single Ladies. I'm like, no racial. I'm like, who the fuck is this Asian sounding type character? I ain't knew what she looked like. I thought she was Asian by the way that she was speaking. And then when I saw like a picture of her or some shit, I think the first time I saw her like actually like on a TV type shit, I think it was on the 5 Star Chick remix, Yo Gotti. But I'm gonna go with Nicki because because Nicki to me she's not a rapper, she's a pop star. Mm-hmm. She got the rap shit, she got the pop shit, but Nicki is not a rapper, she a pop star. But I had Pink Friday, I had Roman Reloaded. That's the only 2 albums that I had. I didn't have the Pink Print. I did not have the Pink Print.
That was my favorite album from her.
Only like one song off the Pink Print album, and that was Truffle Butter. Cause that beat go hard.
Oh yeah, that was hot beat. But if I had to pick one, I say Nicki, just because, especially when she first came out, she was raw. Yeah. Like, I mean, she went more the pop star route, but I feel like if she wants to tap into like that rap bag, I feel like she can really get into it.
Yeah, but who she really gotta like give props to, like for real though, she could have gave props to them like when she won that what was it, like the Vanguard Award or some shit, the VMAs.
I don't keep up with them awards.
Yeah, neither do I. But I heard like she won like one of them big awards like them fucking Video Vanguard Awards. Like that's like the number one. Like all like awards show they have like that one big award like paying tribute to somebody. Mm-hmm. She got that one, and I heard that like she didn't big up Waka Flocka's mom, because Waka Flocka's mom, Aunt Deb, she the one who discovered Nicki Minaj. She the one that like put her on and shit, like with being with Gucci, OJ the Juice Man, that circle, because Gucci was once managed by Waka's mom. That's how Waka got in the mix. Why Waka wanted to rap and shit, because
Now I didn't know Now I knew Gucci was managed by Walker's mom, but I didn't know she found Nicki. That part I didn't know.
Yeah, but if you want to like take it all the way back before and Deb, she was also discovered by Bow-Legged Lou. Bow-Legged Lou was from Full Force. Full Force was one of the House Party movies. The nigga kick your fucking ass.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, he discovered her. You ain't know that?
No.
You learn something new every day.
I mean, you're teaching me a lot of shit right now, but no, I would have never expected that part. No.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more.
All right.
Durk or Youngboy? I don't know if you listen to them, but
Durk.
Durk.
I'm gonna choose Durk over Youngboy. Even though, like, I know these niggas is beefing right now, and I don't really like listen to Durk or Youngboy like that. I'm not really like big fans like that. But I'm gonna go with Durk. I like some good like Durk songs like Denied in UK. I forgot what song it was. It was one song with King Von. I forgot what it's called. This ain't OG. This is OG. This is Strikes for real. They got 2 good kids, something like that. But I'm gonna go with
I feel
Durk.
like I know which song you're talking about, but I don't remember the name. Personally, me, I guess overall I'll say Durk.
Yeah.
But I feel like I like NBA Youngboy's albums more, but I like Durk's singles more.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's why I still pick Durk, because his singles be hitting like crazy. And the last one is Game or 50.
50 Cent. 50 Cent, bro. Like I said, growing up, 50 Cent was the first gangster rapper, in my opinion, even though, like, there were already gangster rappers out in, like, L.A., but gangster rap basically started in Philadelphia. It did. With Schoolie D, PSK, Parkside Killers.
Oh, you wouldn't give that to NWA?
I mean, I would say they was the one that, like, pushed gangster rap to, like, the forefront. Not only NWA, Ice-T.
Mm-hmm.
But I say Schoolie D like really like was the first ever like gangster rapper. This was like 84, 85 when PSK Parkside Killers was dropped. But I'll go with 50. 50 Cent, he's a good lyricist. He's a good businessman. He had the Vitamin Water. He had G Unit. You wasn't popping back in elementary school if you ain't had no G Unit. I ain't gonna add some
That's
G
all
Unit.
my mom used to buy me was fucking G Unit.
I never had the G Unit sneakers because growing up, every time we used to go to Kids Foot Locker, my pops would always say, "Remember, you're not getting no G Units." I'm like, oh, come on now, man. I want to look fly. But I still look fly because I used to wear like G Unit, Sean John, Mecca, Carl Kanai, Academics. I used to rock all that shit. But yeah, man, 50 Cent.
Shoot. I would give it to Game, but I know 50 has a lot more influence than Game. See, I just like Game's lyricism more than 50's, but I know overall 50 is a lot more influential, like especially like what you said, Vitamin Waters, the shows he does, the music,
Power.
like everything. And Power is one of my favorite shows of all time, so if we talking overall, I do have to give it to 50, but just as far as like lyrically, I gotta give it to Game.
Yeah, Game is a good lyricist, and I fuck with Game's mixtapes because one of my favorite mixtapes by Game is Stop Snitching, Stop Lying. It was like a spoof. 50 Cent's movie Get Rich or Die Trying. It was like around the time when it was beefing, and it actually came out with a DVD. Like what Game did for like the Stop Snitching, Stop Lying DVD, he did like a fucking Where's 50 Cent tour.
I heard about that.
Went from L.A. all the way to Connecticut, where 50 used to live at, because he bought Mike Tyson's old mansion out in Connecticut. He was really out in Queens, out in New York, like y'all fuck with 50 Cent. And then one nigga called out Tony Yayo, called out his government name and talking about like he was once locked up with Tony Yayo. He I'm just gonna keep it like I'm just gonna stop right there because I fucking Tony Yayo. I want Tony Yayo coming after me and shit. Shout out to Yayo. Yayo too. The whole G Unit. He's an incredible like hype man. I remember when John Cena was on one of them late talk shows. He said, "You can't see me." He got it from Tony Yayo. I don't know if you remember like some of the 50 videos when Tony Yayo was doing cameos. He always do this with the motherfucking bucket hat. He be like, I'm like,
wait, that's where John Cena got that?
That's what he said he got it from. I believe it.
Yo, you really learning something new every day, man. But damn, I was gonna say something. I forgot, man. But alright. I guess this can be the last topic because I know you have a lot to say about this one.
Dun, dun, dun.
When I called him to talk about topics, the first thing he said was Kanye West. And I'm going to give y'all a little time frame. He said this the night before Kanye said the shit about Hitler and all that. So when he told me Kanye, and then Kanye said that the next morning, I was like, oh, shit. We about to have an interesting episode. This shit's about to be crazy. Mm-hmm. So what's your overall thoughts on like everything going on with Kanye right now?
I think like, us black people should stop like, calling this man crazy, saying like he's out of his mind. How can you call somebody crazy when he's speaking the truth? Y'all call him crazy because the fucking media calls him crazy. So anything the media says about a black man, y'all take it and y'all run with it and y'all believe that shit. But the shit that he said about like, the Jewish media, like the Jewish company running the shit, like it's true. I don't know how like he's being like anti-Semitic about it. You know what I mean? He's talking about the Holocaust and shit. But if you like really think about it, if you like really think real deep, slavery was the first Holocaust. That was our Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? And for people to say that he's being anti-Semitic, like, come on now. And I never thought Kanye was crazy, man, because he would say shit like in 2016. I remember like 2016, like he did like a show. It was like in California. He went on that rant about radio and Drake and Kid Cudi and all this shit. He was right about radio. Motherfuckers be like paying people under the table type shit to play that one record. That's why you would hear it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. That payola.
Yeah, that's what's called payola. Mm-hmm. And when he left the stage, they saying he was hallucinating, and they checked him into like a UCLA like mental health type joint or some shit. But I don't think Kanye is crazy. Is that like it's cool to tell the truth. Like why is it so bad to tell the truth? Especially like with Kyrie Irving, like the whole from what is it, from Negroes to Hebrews or Hebrews to Negroes, and everybody like talking crazy about him and all that shit. Shaq called him an idiot. No, nigga, you the idiot for fucking bringing down a black man. You calling him an idiot because you fucking rubbing shoulders with them white men, and you don't want to be looked at wrong from other people if you like defend Kyrie Irving. You too, Charles Barkley. You know what I mean? Like we supposed to like I said, we supposed to defend one another, bro. Don't bring people down because he says something about the opposite race, which is the people that you doing business for, aka you're working for. You're their slave. You're their puppet. But yeah, man, that's basically all I gotta say about Kanye.
See, my thing with Kanye is, and I gotta tread it a little bit lightly because my girlfriend's Jewish, but okay. But so my thing with Kanye is same as you. I don't think he's crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like he needs to find better ways to say stuff.
Yeah.
Because, see, I got into a lot of debates with people where, like, people be saying, like, oh, Kanye don't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. He's an idiot. But my thing is,
I hate to like cut you off. Like, you can't call somebody, like, you can't call him an idiot. You can't call him crazy. His mother was an English professor. She was, like, the first black professor, I think, in Chicago State University, and his father was a former Black Panther. He was like one of the first black journalists in Atlanta. So how can you call him crazy? He's off his meds and shit, but that politically woke shit runs in his blood. You know what I mean? But back to you were saying, I'd like throw that out there for the people who don't know, should know what's going on. But,
like, my thing is, I always tell people, like, you know, he is actually a very smart person. Like, don't... See, I'm more about the intention of what people are saying. Like, he may not say it in the best way, but a lot of the stuff that he's saying is true. You know, you can't deny a lot of the things that he was saying.
Right.
And then also you gotta try to understand people, because, like, you know, especially in our generation nowadays, people hear what people are saying, but they don't try to understand it. Like, when he says slavery was a choice, I remember everybody was like, came out and said all these opinions, and I'm listening to it, and, like, while I don't overall agree with what he was saying, I understand what he was saying.
But he said it in, like, different, like, words.
Yeah. So, and then even when he was talking about, like, you know, what people were saying that was anti-Semitic, like how the Jewish people run, you know, media and stuff like that. My thing is, one, he ain't lying, because if you really look into these businesses and stuff like that, you're going to see all white people really is running it.
Yeah.
And then second, y'all mad at Kanye, but other rappers has basically been saying this, but... You know, Jay-Z was kind of talking about it a little bit on 444. I remember Kendrick said a little something about it on Damn. But it's like, were y'all not listening to these lyrics? Were y'all just listening to the beat?
Yeah,
like,
to the groove.
Like, other rappers and artists are talking about it. It's just the way Kanye said it. And because it's not on wax, y'all don't like what he's saying.
Right.
Now,
like, all right, so, like, it's okay for, like, rappers, like you said on the Drake Champs, episode, it's okay for rappers to be like, I'ma fuck your bitch, I'ma kill this nigga, I'ma fuck your bitch, I'ma kill this nigga. Y'all think that shit is acceptable, but when he gets on a damn platform and talk about how, like, Jewish media and, like, state of hip hop is, like, anti-Semitic and shit, y'all laugh at him. I feel so bad for Kanye that he lost all his, like, endorsements and shit with, you know, with Adidas, Chase and Def Jam not fucking with him. Def Jam and Good Music parted ways.
So do you believe, because some people were saying that, do you believe that he did that on purpose to get out of those deals?
I don't know. I honestly think that he didn't see it coming. I thought he think it was like, this ain't gonna, like, you know, affect my business, but it did, man. This is fucked up.
See, overall, I think he's gonna be all right.
He still has money. Like, he only lost $1 billion. He still got, like, millions and millions of dollars. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, he was a billionaire, but now, what, like, Jay-Z's now the only billionaire or some shit? Or, like, who else is a billionaire, black billionaire? I think Puffy.
I felt like they also said Dr. Dre at one
point. Oh, yeah, Dr. Dre, because I heard that Tyrese Big Mouth is the reason why, like, everybody found out that him and Jimmy Iovine, who's, like, the chairman and CEO of Interscope Records, sold beats to Apple. It's because of Tyrese. Everybody knew about it. It was supposed to be like a kept secret or some shit.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. I just knew one day they said that he sold it, but I didn't know it was a secret. Yeah. But yeah, like the whole Kanye thing. And then another thing that kind of makes me mad with people about the whole Kanye thing is Kanye, he's openly speaking about any and every group over the years. He always said whatever he wanted, but now people decide to get mad at him. Because, like, even when the slavery was a choice thing came out, people just called him stupid. He wasn't facing no repercussions or whatever. Right. And some people could say that he was talking about his own race then. So when he's talking about black people or like, stuff like that, nobody cared. Right. But it's not until he started talking about white people and Jewish people, he got to lose every single deal, which is just like, why'd y'all wait now if y'all felt that type of way? Y'all called him stupid before when it was about black people. Now y'all pissed off when it's white people.
You could have lost them fucking endorsements years ago with that slavery was a choice shit, but now y'all want to like fucking do shit now since he says something about Jewish people. Now y'all want to fucking pull his card. Like, come on now.
So it's like I kind of see where people could get mad about the statements, but it's also just like, y'all waited way too long to get mad, because if he would talk about his own race, what the fuck did you think else he would say? Like,
exactly.
Like this dude had proven time and time again he don't care what comes out of his mouth. He's just gonna say whatever he feels like.
He's a Gemini. Geminis are fearless. They have no filter.
Shit, I was even talking to my friend the other day when he said the whole that he like Hitler thing, and like. My friend, he was like, man, somebody needs to talk to him. I was like, this is Kanye. Like, ain't nobody gonna fucking talk to him and change his mind. The only person that could talk to him and change his mind, is not here no more. R.I.P. Donda.
Yeah, rest in peace, Miss Donda was.
Ain't nobody gonna get to him by talking to him. I don't know what Kanye needs, but, I do, and this is something I also want to ask you. Yeah. Now, literally before you got here, my aunt is like a big Kanye West fan. We were just talking about him.
Yeah.
We were talking about like, where does, because some people was asking with a lot of the comments he's been saying, where does his mental health and where does his genuine thoughts come into play? Do you feel like a lot of the things that he's saying right now, like whether you agree with it or not, do you feel like a lot of the things that he's saying right now is like his genuine thoughts, or do you think he's probably going through an episode?
His genuine thoughts. It's not an episode. How is an episode? How is like an episode if he's like talking like actual facts? You know what I mean? Everybody talking about his mental health and shit. Like I said, like that 2016 rant. It like his mental health. He went crazy. He ain't going crazy. He's woke. He's waking up from being in the Matrix. You know what I mean? And what he's doing now, I think he's like he surpassed being in the Matrix. I feel like he's free from the Matrix now. Like he ain't gotta worry about like being nobody's slave. He's not worried about being controlled. Like you said, like they can control everybody, but they can't control him.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree with that.
So. Because when she brought that up, she was mostly talking about, like, the whole Hitler thing. Like, how do you feel about him saying that?
Honestly, I didn't watch that, what was that, like, Alex something? I forgot.
Alex Jones, I think?
Yeah, Alex Jones. I didn't, really watch that whole footage.
Mm-hmm.
I saw bits and pieces of it on Twitter, but I didn't understand where he was coming from when he said he likes Hitler or he is Hitler or some shit like.
Because now, from the clip, it seemed like he was saying like, how he's on his love everybody type thing, and that he tried to see good in everybody. That's what he was saying, that, when he said that he liked Hitler, he was trying to see, the good in Hitler. Mm-hmm. But see, like I said, usually I agree with Kanye and I can see where he's coming from. This was probably the one time I couldn't agree with him, just because, like, I get what you're trying to say, like, see good in everybody, but it's just certain people, like, I don't know how you can pick. And then even it just, when that happened, it's just like, I couldn't agree really with what he was saying, because, like, some of the things he was saying that was supposedly good about Hitler, he was saying stuff that wasn't accurate, like, he made the microphone, he made the highways, like, those stuff was around before Hitler came around. So, for the most part, I think Kanye does say a lot of true things, but that part I couldn't agree with, and it kind of does make me question, where does mental health and where does his real opinions come from? Like, I'm still trying to figure out, is this his real thoughts, but because, maybe he's going through something, he's finally saying it, or like, I'm still trying to figure that out. And and I don't know if you agree, but I still feel like Kanye doesn't have the right people around him.
Right.
Which I feel like he never really did after his mom died because, like, while he is telling the truth, like I said, it's how he goes about things that make me question, like, is the right people that's going to keep him, like, on, you know,
I feel
straight.
like Kanye, like, after his mom died, Kanye be having, like, a lot of yes men around him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, like, money-hungry people around him. And they don't, like, I know for a fact, none of them people don't be trying to, like, sit down and talk to him, like, give him some guidance. I feel like the only person that can like really like do that is his father. His father's still living, so he can talk to him. I know you watched the Genius documentary.
Oh yeah,
he was on the phone with him. He was on FaceTime with him. He told Kanye like next time write your speeches. Like after the whole like controversy about like that whole what was it, like the rally he did, where he started like crying about like his dad didn't want him or some shit. His mom saved his life, and he's talking about he almost killed his daughter or some shit over like abortion. And he told him like next time write your speeches, which I agree with.
Yeah, I think Kanye probably needs to get more in touch with like maybe his family, kind of like what you said with his dad and whatever. Because being around the Kardashians, like all those other people, that wasn't really helping him like that. But so, dang, I think we ran through all our topics, but I can't end this episode without at least asking you, because we talked about rap this whole episode. I can't end it without asking you, who is your favorite rapper of all time?
Damn. I can't say Kanye. My favorite artist of all time.
Well, rapper or because I don't know if you separate them, but I like to separate rappers and artists.
I'll say like overall, I'll say Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator is basically like one of the main reasons why I started producing at a young age, at 13 years old. Because I'm telling you, when Odd Future came out, this was like something like totally different because before Odd Future, I was a Young Money fan. I was like, bro, I had dreams on being a part of Young Money and shit. You know, Wayne, Drake, Nicki, Tyga. That was like an all-star team. But by the time I got to middle school, like between like transitioning from the 5th to 6th grade, saw Tyler the Creator Yonkers video on MTV for the first time.
Ain't that the one where he was eating the bug and shit?
Yeah, because
that's all I ever hear about that video. Because
when I first saw the video, I'm like, okay, this is decent. Then he put out the fucking cockroach, started crawling on his hand. When he ate that shit, I'm like, oh no, click. But then I started like hearing about him, like from time to time. I'm like, yo, he's very like a creative person. He's very like unique. He like he's influenced by Pharrell, and I fucks with Pharrell. And like, not only like he raps and produce, he directs shit. He makes fashion. He had his own carnival, Can't Flog No Carnival, which we'll never see the light of day, never again.
Really?
Yeah, it's been like since like 2019, since the last festival.
Oh damn! I didn't even realize it was that long ago.
Yeah. But Tyler the Creator and Odd Future overall, they're like my number one like inspiration because like I went through like a transition when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Like I said in the beginning of this episode, I was picked on when I was younger, and for like artists like that who had like that anger and frustration to be like, fuck everybody, fuck that, fuck this. It's like I needed that rebellious type attitude in music. Because, like, ain't nobody in hip-hop was talking about, oh, I don't believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in God. Like, nobody wasn't like, talking like that. Well, like, as far as, like, like, 3-6 Mafia with, like, the devil shit. But, like, these niggas was, like, they shit had, like, upside-down crosses and pentagrams and shit. It had me, like, questioning religion time to time. But, like, Now that I'm older, like I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus. Like when people ask me what's my religion, I'll say me. I'm God because black man is God. You know what I mean? We're all gods. We're not niggas. We're not Negroes. We're gods. We're all gods. But just to like to wrap up, you know what I mean, Tyler the Creator is like a huge inspiration. Like I try, like when I started production, I try to copy some of his shit, but you know I build my own type of style. Like shout out to Tyler the Creator. You know what I mean? Hopefully one day, like I'm speaking like in like, you know, future. You know what I mean? I hope I get to like get that, you know, that Deezy Martians Tyler the Creator collab. You know what I mean?
Shit, you gotta manifest that shit.
Yeah, I manifest a lot, bro. That's like manifestation is so like it's so it's words can't explain about manifestation, because there's like people I went to school with. I will see them around and shit. I'm like, maybe one day me and him/her we're gonna be tight one day, and then next thing you know, start rocking. I'm like, damn, I really like manifest like a friendship with that person. Like, you know, damn, we gonna be tight. And next thing you know, like months go by, like somebody, you know, say hi to one another, and then, you know, start bonding and clicking and all that shit. But yeah, Tyler the Creator, #1 inspiration, and you know, can't forget about Kanye and X. Those are like my like 3 or 4 of my Mount Rushmores. Tyler, Kanye, X. And I gotta pick another like underground artist. Probably Doom, MF Doom.
And you would say this is like your all-time rappers, Mount Rushmore?
Yeah. Or like I can like mix it up, because like I said, I'm like a huge like music lover.
Yeah,
I could have said Tupac. I could have said Nas.
Yeah, that's why I like to separate like rap and artists, because, you know, rappers, I'm just focusing on the lyricism.
Yeah.
Artists, I'm talking like everything, like singing, like how they, you know, put their music together. Because like for me, I would probably say, if I had to say my rap Mount Rushmore, Biggie, Tupac, Wayne, and Kanye.
Okay, that's a solid one.
Well, okay, I'm talking lyricism. So scratch Kanye and probably 50.
Okay.
Now, if I'm talking like overall artists,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Kanye West, Tupac, and then who else? I don't know. At the top of my head, I might have to give it to X. Top of my head.
Yeah.
So that's all you had to say about your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, man.
All right. So, you know, before we end this episode, you got any upcoming projects? I always see you working on Instagram. So, like, what any upcoming stuff you got coming? Like, any albums?
Got the Marsquiat album that's dropping sometime next year. Gonna start working back on clothing. Gonna start doing clothing again. As
Oh yeah, is that your brand?
That's, you know, Marziano. That's the brand. You feel me? Got some designs in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put that shit out ASAP. You know what I mean? I know there's some people out there that would like really support my brand and what I got going. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, how much your clothes be going for?
Well, I didn't really like drop shit like yet. Like I got shit of my own that like I ain't like press up more like, you know, shirts and shit. But I'd say like for a t-shirt, I'll let it go for like 25. And
see, I'm a hoodie guy. So how much for a hoodie?
I'll let fucking hoodies go for $40.
Okay,
that's like a good a solid price for a hoodie, because motherfuckers would like charge like $70, $80 for like a hoodie.
Oh yeah.
Like come on now. Like, motherfuckers will even charge like $150, $120 for a t-shirt. I thought about doing that, but it was like, you know what? That's being a little bit too pushy, being like money hungry. Like, yeah, give me your money.
Especially when you gotta like establish a brand first before you get to that level. See, See, now let me know when it drops because I'll pay for one. Because one of the things that I've really been getting into recently is like trying to support more black-owned businesses. Like,
Me too.
Like, one of the brands I shop at is No Lacking, World Vision, if you know them.
World Vision, nah.
God is Dope.
Nah, never
Really?
heard.
You ain't see God is Dope? Everybody be wearing that.
Oh yeah. Speaking of black-owned, shout out to Wapo with Dripset.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about that.
Shout out Dripset. I got to copy some Dripset. Real talk.
Oh yeah, someday. Shoot, maybe someday I can have him on the podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So definitely next time or when you drop that album, I gotta have you back on so we could talk about it. Get
Most
like
definitely.
gotta do like an interview run with your boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice having you on the podcast, and you know, like I said, this is the first time we ever really like talk like that, and it was good to really like, you know, see where your head is at, pick your mind, because like I said, we knew each other like from high school, but like all I've ever mostly interacted with this dude was through Instagram, so
Yeah.
it was cool to get to know you better in person.
Most definitely. Likewise. Before we end this, I just want to give like, you know, some shout outs. I mean, shout out to my nigga Joe. Shout out to my cousin Ali the Sensei. Shout out to Sir Zay. Shout out to you know, everybody in the Ville that's, you know, doing what they gotta do.
Everybody in the Ville that support, because a lot of motherfuckers from the Ville don't support.
Yeah, like, come on now, like, I ain't trying to, like, you know what I mean, call nobody out, because, you know what I mean, we all black artists trying to, like, you know, get our shit out there, trying to get put on, you know what I mean, but, like, you know, we all gotta, like, support one another. Don't just support this one nigga because, you know, he talking about some shit that you find, you know, pretty interesting. Like, come on now, like, fuck with, like, you know what I mean, the people who, like, you know, really, like, take this music shit serious.
And see, one of the things that I used to be big on was trying to big up Jersey, because I feel like we don't have too many, like, you know, people out of Jersey. Like,
well, like
creators.
we do have like people out of Jersey. Like when we talking about Jersey, we talking about like North Jersey. You know, your Laurel Hills, your Redmonds.
Yeah, but I mean, like in our generation, I feel like we don't really have too much. Jersey don't really get talked about. So I want to build a community with people, and you got to work together. You know, I mostly know him for his music shit, but hey, he on the podcast, so you got to work together with you know the people from your city. Right. So yeah. With all that being said, Deezy, thank you for being on the podcast.
Most definitely.
Thank you guys for checking out the podcast, whether you're listening, viewing. I've been seeing them views go up on YouTube and whatever, so yeah. And with all that being said, Tevin Jamier, signing out.
Peace to the gods.